this. I'm on page 157. 157. Okay. It's review today, so that's good. And it's pretty easy. Talking about commas and coordinating conjunctions, which is the fanboys. And you already know when you list 3 of the same type of words or phrases or clauses, you do need commas between A, comma, B, comma, and C. Or if you have a main clause and then a CC and a main clause. And then here's no comma if you just have 2 types of words. And then if you have a main clause, a CC, and a second verb, there's no comma for that. So those are the 2 comma rules for coordinating conjunctions. And then just down here is going to be practice. So you're going to read the following sentences, underline the words, phrases, or clauses that each CC connects, insert commas where needed. So go ahead and just read the first sentence.
The king was thirsty and eager to drink the water.
Okay, so what 2 words are they comparing, or, is the CC in between?
Thirsty and eager.
Thirsty and eager, yeah. Do we need a comma for that?
No.
Correct. Okay, so that's how easy this is. So go ahead and do the next sentence.
Balin or Balin?
I think it's Balin. I'm not sure, but I think Balin.
Balin grew anxious, barked loudly, and tried to warn the king. And I put commas in between anxious and barked and loudly and.
So Balin grew anxious, comma, barked loudly, and is that how you did it? Like that? Okay. So it's connecting grew, barked,
yeah,
and tried. Okay. Yep, that's correct. Okay, go ahead and do the next one.
Balin sensed something was wrong, but Robert could not call out a warning. The comma goes after wrong.
Yes, correct. And these are the 2 main clauses here. So you can underline those. That's what it's connecting, is 2 main clauses. Okay, and the next one?
Robert realized that something was wrong, but could not call out a warning. After wrong.
Actually,
a comma.
This one has a second verb instead of, it's not 2 main clauses like that one up above. So we've got, let's see, it's connecting 2 verbs. He realized that something was wrong, but could not call out a warning. So since it's connecting 2 verbs, it does not need a comma.
Okay.
Could is a helping verb. It's could call. So it's connecting realized and could call. So no comma for that one, actually.
Robert knew Balin was warning them, and the water could be tainted.
Yeah, this is a tricky one.
Yeah, I'm reading in my head. I'm reading it as like with a pause after them, but then
Yeah. But it's actually, this is one of those, you have your that clause. That's pretty clear. That Balin was warning them. But then this is actually another that clause. It's one of those invisible ones. So really right here, there should be that would be invisible. So if you're connecting two that clauses together, there's no comma. That's a tricky one though, because you're right. You naturally want to pause after them, but that used to be our rule. Like whenever you feel like you need to pause when you're reading it, that's where the comma goes, but that's actually not a good rule to follow. So because there's two that clauses, it's no comma there.
Robert wiggled the king's hands and the water spilled out.
Okay.
The verbs wiggled and spilled.
Yeah, that's another tricky one, because if you look for main clauses, do you see the first main clause?
Robert wiggled the king's hands.
Robert wiggled, it's a weird sentence. Robert wiggled the king's hands. And then if you have the water spilled, that's also a main clause because you have your subject water and the verb spilled. So because you've got, and you can see the rule up here, if you've got two main clauses, then you do need a comma before the CC. But I see why you would think wiggled and spilled. But if you're talking about two different things, like here, it's Robert wiggled and the water spilled. So you're talking about two different verbs connected to two different subjects. You know what I mean? So that one does have a comma. Does that kind of make sense? Hopefully.
Yeah.
It's hard because you have to, like, the first few are pretty easy because you're listing. That's when you know that's pretty easy. But when you're talking about clauses and then especially main clauses, yeah, and looking for, can that sentence stand alone? If it can, it's usually a clause or a main clause. So that's how I would do this one. You can, these two sentences can basically stand alone. So we do use a comma between. So the internet's being weird. I don't know if it's on my end or your end, but there must be a cloud in the sky somewhere. Did I lose you? Uh-oh. I think I lost you. You there, Jasper? Oh my goodness. There you are. I see you moving. I can't hear you yet. I can't hear you. Uh-oh. This is going to be a fun class. There you go. I hear you now.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
It is kind of windy here, and there are darker clouds on the, like, by the mountains.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm in the dark clouds, so it could be on my end too. I don't even know. I woke up, Jasper, I woke up to snow this morning.
Really?
Yes, there was snow on the ground this morning. It's already melted because it wasn't very much, but it did stick. It snowed at about 4 o'clock this morning. I got up at 5 o'clock, and as the sun was coming up, everything was white. It was crazy.
Did I tell you that? I don't remember when exactly. I think it was last month. It started to hail here.
Oh, I don't think so. Wow. That's unusual for you guys.
It was like a lot.
Wow. Yeah, the weather's been pretty extreme.
It was March 30th.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty late.
And it was just like out of nowhere because it was a sunny day, and then it all just like came down.
Oh my gosh.
And there was very loud thunder too. It was very, very strange.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's how it's been here too. Just like super windy days, and then all of a sudden it's cold because we had a last weekend it was up in the 80s, which is warm for us. And, you know,
Mhm.
all the weeds are growing like crazy. And then, like I said, the wind came. And then this morning got up and there's snow. It got down to 31 last night. So it's crazy. Yeah. Anyways, all right. I turned the page. I'm on 158 now. So this is review for dialogue and just asking some questions here. Dialogue includes quoted sentences and attributions. So do you remember what an attribution is?
Um, it's like a describing word, like an adjective.
No, it's actually like who's speaking. So if you have a sentence like down here, the king cried, stay where you are, the king cried is going to be the attribution because it's basically the person speaking and then the speaking verb. So we'll just say the person speaking and the speaking verb. So it could be screamed or yelled or whispered or declared, questioned, those types of words. That's what the attribution is.
All right.
Okay, and then the difference between a direct quote and an indirect quote. We talked about that kind of briefly, but you know, when you're doing a research paper, this is super important to know because you know we've talked about plagiarism before, but this is also referring to when someone is speaking. So a direct quote is exactly what the person said. And then the indirect quote is a paraphrase of what someone said. So, and it often begins with that as far as a paraphrase. So I would just say, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Direct quote. Or a direct quote is exact words. And then an indirect is a paraphrase. And there's two different ways to include that in your research paper. And I don't think we'll have time to get into that in this class, but if you do take the next class, we will get pretty deep into things like that as far as research papers go. Have you heard about that before?
Which part?
About direct and indirect quotes. Have you heard that before?
I think I might have.
Okay. This next part says capitalization and punctuation mistakes in quotations are common. Read the following passages and fix the errors. So for this first example, I noticed it when I read it earlier. The king cried. It really should be a comma.
Yeah.
And then the quote. Did you notice that too?
Yeah, as soon as I looked at it.
Yeah, I was like, that didn't look right. So yeah, you could just put that in there. And then how about the next one? What do you think we need to fix on that?
Oh. Uh, I think take out the quotations around he did not trust the water.
Yes. So I'm just going to X them out like that. That's one thing we need to fix.
Um, I'm not so sure about this, but do you take out the comma after that on the first line?
Yes, correct. Take that out. It doesn't need to be there. That's good. And then there's a couple more to fix. Oh, just one more. Two more.
Um, do you take out the other comma?
That one stays, but then right before the quote, there needs to be a comma again.
Hmm.
And then inside the quote, because it's a new sentence, this does need to be capital.
Right.
So the hound is warning you. And then the other error is right here. The quotation marks should be on the outside of the period.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, that's a common one. So the punctuation always goes on the inside of the quote, pretty much always. So that's an easy one to miss. And then there's several things to fix on the next one. See if you can figure that one out.
Is for be quiet, you take out the period and put a comma and then put another quotation mark.
Yes, that's correct. Good job.
And then a period after commanded.
Actually, after Balin, the king
Oh,
to Balin. Right there.
all right.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like a period there, and then it's like talking
Oh,
to Balin.
yeah. I can see how you would think that. Yeah. Like Balin, we will leave only after, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure Balin is a dog, so that doesn't make as much sense.
Right. True.
A quotation around we. Oh, and then capitalize the W,
Good. Yeah.
and then the punctuation for the period.
Punctuation. And then where does the quotation mark go?
On the outside of it.
Yes, correct. Good job. And the only other thing that you skipped was right here, the king is lowercase.
Oh.
Because be quiet technically is the beginning of that sentence because the attribution is part of the sentence. So,
Mm-hmm.
so be quiet, the king commanded. I think that's all of it.
So capitalize the K.
The K, no. You're gonna leave that lowercase, so you're just
Oh, I see what you meant.
yeah, changing that capital T to a lowercase t. Okay, any questions about that?
No.
Okay. And then your homework will be the next 4 pages. It's weird. Sometimes my voice sounds like a robot to me. Are you hearing that too?
No, sounds normal.
Okay, good. Oh boy. You know, we can put a man on a moon. Can't
Or
we?
so they say.
Or so they say. I know. I feel you, Jasper. That's exactly how I feel. I mean, I've seen those conspiracies too. I'm like, uh-oh. What is the
Some of
truth?
them make sense, but then I also don't know what to think.
Isn't that just so unsettling? I hate that feeling. Like, I mean, you know, younger, we just believed it because they told us that. And now that we're getting older and we're getting more information, and it's called the information era. I'm sure you know that. And so we're getting all of this information, and it's like, wow, how do we sort through the truth, man? It's tough.
I saw something. It was these two guys talking, and one of them said that this guy found a point on a map, like getting caught or shot at or something, and he said that he saw what looked like a, but I don't know if that was real or not because I think it could have been anything.
I caught some of that. It's really, really glitchy, but did you say he thought he saw a UFO?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's hard to know. It's hard to know what's really going on. Even these extreme weather patterns. I mean, I know we've always had in the spring. It just seems a little more extreme than normal. And it's like, what is going on? It's just weird. It's hard to know
Yeah.
what the truth is. So, anyways, okay, so tell me, how is it going with your research process? I know we got the subject and we were looking at possible topics, and then we were working for your homework, working on your outlines. Where are you at with that, Jasper?
I do have the outlines. I don't have the part where I did the other ones and then fuse them, but I have the like complete outlines.
Okay, so you have like the A, B, C completed. You just don't have the fused part. Is that right?
Um, I have the fused part. I don't have the one that has ABC.
Oh, did you just skip that?
No, I did it on a separate piece of paper, and then I did these ones on another one.
Oh, okay. So you actually did all the outlines and then the fused. Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Then you're on track. That's good. That's awesome. Okay. Hopefully you got some sleep last night. It sounded
Yeah.
like you were a little behind, but you got it. So that's good. So, and you are writing about Stan Lee, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and you got your fused outlines, but you haven't uploaded them yet because I just checked, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, that's okay. So really what I wanted to do during class was give you time to work on it. And
But
you're
I can.
surprised. What's
And use
that?
what? What'd you say?
Ah, you go first.
Uh, I didn't. I didn't quite hear what you said.
Oh, I know. I didn't hear what you said either. So we're in the same boat. Uh, I don't even remember what I said now. I'm just like, I mean, all we can do
You
is laugh, right?
you said wanted to give me time in class to work on it, and then you said something after that, which is what I didn't get.
Okay. I said, you surprised me and got the fused outlines done. So you're further along than I expected, basically. So, but I
Oh,
still am
okay.
going to give you time in class to start writing your paragraphs since you have your fused outlines together. But just because I don't see your fused outlines, that's okay. Maybe you could just tell me what you have. What are your, like, tell me the first topic, then tell me what words you have in your fused outline.
The first topic is early life.
Okay.
So I have for the Roman numeral 1, it's born Stanley Martin Lieber on December 28th, 1922.
Okay.
And then the first line is New York, Romanian immigrants, Celia and Jack, because those were his parents' names.
Okay.
And uh, part childhood, Great Depression, because he lived some of that during the Great Depression.
Yes. Okay.
And family struggled, younger brother Larry.
Okay.
Stanley, shortened name Lee, and writer.
Okay.
Hired by Timely Comics in 1939, and then interim editor early 40s. Served domestically World War II, writer and illustrator.
Wow. Okay, cool. Did you know that about him? Those things?
I didn't know about the World War II part,
Yeah.
and I knew his full name, but I didn't know some of these.
Interesting. Yeah. That's
But
interesting.
he's 100 years old this year, and then turning 101. That I didn't realize.
Wow. And he's not alive though, is he? Or is he still alive?
No, he died in 2018.
That's what I thought. Okay, so he would be 101. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, man. And so it does make sense now that he served domestically for World War II. That's interesting, but he did understand the soldier's life, and that makes sense with Captain America because
Mhm.
all those scenes where Captain America went to the whatever they're called, the places where the military was stationed as entertainment. He probably had firsthand experience with you know getting entertained on their downtime.
Mm.
Military,
He,
that's interesting.
he made Captain America as like a symbol for hope, like a Uncle Sam type of guy.
Yeah,
I
I
think
love that.
one of his nicknames back when he was like starting out was like Nazi Crusher or something,
Oh wow.
which is pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he was all about our rights, our constitutional
Mhm.
rights, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's neat. That's neat to know his background like that.
Yeah.
And that sounds good. You've got some great information in there. You'll be able to write that paragraph easily. And then what do you have for Roman numeral 2?
1950s superheroes and then high popularity
Okay.
because that's when like the whole superhero idea started to get big.
Okay.
And then the first number is Timely to Atlas to Marvel because they changed their name.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting.
And then I have first hit Fantastic Four, which I
Okay.
didn't know was his like first set of heroes.
Yeah. What are the Fantastic Four again? Is that I forget who is the four?
Um, there's Mr. Fantastic, who's the really stretchy guy,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
okay.
there's the Invisible Woman who turns invisible, and the Human Torch who can set his body on fire and fly around, and then there's the Thing whose body is like made of rock.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty cool. They haven't really done a movie about the Fantastic Four, have they? Or I guess maybe they did.
Uh, they have, but they were. Uh, I think they weren't very good. They might have been for the time, which was like early 2000s, but I think
Yeah,
compared to what Marvel has done now, it's not the best.
yeah, yeah.
But I thought they were good when I was younger because I had the DVD, so I would watch it all the time.
Okay. I'll have to go back and find it. I don't remember that one too well, but that's cool. Wow, okay. And then what else do you have?
I have Made More, X-Men, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man. some of the superheroes came together and made the Avengers. And then he needed, oh, I missed a letter. Needed a new hero, saw a spider on a wall, and thought of Spider-Man.
Ah,
Yeah, that one's a pretty cool story. He wanted to make another one that would appeal to the younger audience because that's mostly what he had. So he needed an idea, and at first it was going to be based on a fly, but he couldn't think of a good name for it. So then he saw the spider and was like, Spider-Man. And he said that
wow.
just sounded powerful.
I like it. Oh, that's neat. I did not know that either.
And then the Marvel method helped make heroes, and he would give his people a loose outline and add stuff later.
Okay, so
And
he had
then
a team. Go ahead.
the next topic is death, or
Okay,
his death. I mean,
okay. And you finished that one as well?
Mhm.
Okay, good. And what do you have for that one?
Roman numeral 3 is his wife died in 2017, 70 years married.
Wow, 70 years. Wow,
Mm.
that's crazy.
So that's like in his uh uh,
I missed that. What was that? In his what?
middle 20s when they
Oh,
got
yeah,
married.
when he got married. Yeah. That's a long time. And that's cool that she stuck with him
Mhm.
through all of his crazy ideas. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And then the first line is January, irregular heartbeat, uh, uh, loss of breath, but I didn't have enough space to do um, all of it, so I just did breath.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And then the second line is fine, and then worked on Black Panther movie.
Oh, okay.
And in April of 2018, his daughter got angry with him, and then this is the next line: battle for his care, or battle for care of Lee. And the next one is daughter and insiders wanted the estate and made Lee choose sides. And
Oh my
his
God.
daughter assaulted him and died later in November of 2018.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding
So
me.
he didn't die because of her, but I guess she was just a little bit crazy. And on the thing, it said that she assaulted both of them, so it would have been before all of the angriness.
That is so sad at the very end of his life. And
Yeah.
wow. So then it sounds like he needed care and they were fighting over how he was going to get care for the end of his life. Is that what I understand?
Yeah. Yeah, for when he checked into the hospital for his irregular heartbeat, uh, I don't think that was, it said he was discharged, so he must have been fine, but it didn't say when the battle for custody started to happen.
Crazy. And then how did he actually die?
Um, I think it was old age, because he was 95 or 96, so it was gonna happen sooner or later.
It probably was a heart attack, I'm guessing, because or he
Oh yeah.
just, gave out. That's interesting. Wow. Interesting. I think that's good stuff though that you have. So the next step then, of course, is writing it out. And I do want to give you some time, and we have about 15 minutes. And I'll save a few minutes at the end to just kind of go over the bibliography with you. So basically you're ready now to start putting your paragraphs together, and then making sure to keep in mind your checklist. I'll just
Google says that he died from congestive heart failure.
okay. Yeah, that's probably important to include at the very end, because that's pretty typical for his age.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, his heart gave out. He was
Instead of
done.
just he happened.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so you're gonna keep in mind this checklist. These are probably the trickiest part will be this part, the sentence openers, using each one of these. And you now have the very short sentence listed here. So keep those in mind for each one of your paragraphs. And so how do you do this, Jasper? Because I'm open to whatever you think. We could do the bibliography right now, just kind of go through that. That'll be pretty quick, because I'll walk you through how to do it on Google Docs. And then we can just end class a little early. You can work on it, or you can work on it on the Zoom with me if you have any questions. What do you think?
I think doing it now might work better, because if when I do things while on a call of any kind on here, everything starts to get laggy. So
Okay.
you don't want to mess things up.
Okay, so you want to end class a little early, is that what you mean? So you can work on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I see what you mean, because you'll be using the computer. So let me pull up to show you, because all of your sources are online, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I showed this to you before, but I'll just go through it again really quick with you. When you open up your Google Docs, no, that's not what I want to do. It's out of the way. Do you see my Google page right here?
For the screen sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you can see it. And then if I open up my docs here. Do you see a blank document here?
Not yet.
Okay, I think it's not sharing what I want to share. For some reason, it glitched when I try this again. How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then on your toolbar under tools, this is where you're going to click citations. And can you see this bar on the side here where it has a drop down menu and it has MLA 8th edition right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll default to that, and that's the one you want. So if you add a source, it opens up more drop down menus like this, and you would drop down from book to website. And then here's where you're going to cut and paste your URL from your actual source. Does that make sense? So if I have,
yeah.
Okay, let me just try one here. I'll just do this IMDb. That's what I mean. I'm just going to cut and paste it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Copy. Share again. Okay, I think I messed up here. Because this is for citing.
Mhm.
Let me see if there's, I forget now. Hold on a second. I did this last time with you and I know it's in here. I thought it was under citation. I should have looked over this before class, but what I'm looking for is a bibliography. It'll create one for you. Add citation, works cited. Oh, there it goes. Okay, did you see what I did? Let me back out of that. So what I did was, okay, add citation source, like I said. Can you see my Google Doc page right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I'll do it again. I dropped down to website and then I cut and paste the URL, which actually was an imdb.com site. And then I clicked search and then click continue at the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
And then add citation source. And then it says insert work cited. So basically you're just going to keep clicking. And I did it a couple times, so you'll see it 3 times here, but that's basically how you do it. It'll call it works cited, and this is where you want to delete that and call it bibliography like that.
All right.
But that should be straightforward for you. Just go to your tools, go to citations, and then add citation source, and then go through the steps. And it's on YouTube. If you need to see it, then walk you through it again. You can just type in how to do a bibliography on Google Docs if you need help with that. Okay. And then other than that, the only other, and it's in your binder, the format, you want to have it do the page numbers for you. We talked about that before, so I don't know if we need to go over it again, but this page in your binder. This is page 123. And it tells you how to create a header and everything. So that's all on your Google Docs as well. It's pretty straightforward if you go to your tools and add a header. And then you only need your name and date here. I don't need all this other stuff. You don't have to worry about that. Just do your name and date like you always do.
All right.
You think you got it from here?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know. You can text me if you have any questions.
All right.
Need help with anything. So, all right, Jasper. Well, hopefully next week it won't be so glitchy. And then keep me posted on how it's going. If you need more time, just let me know like you do. I appreciate that when you communicate that with me. So I know you got a lot on your plate. So it's okay if you need more extra time. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you go early then.
All right.
All right. See you next week, Jasper.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.